Afternoon. My name is Cody Rios, and I am currently a undergraduate at ECU, where I plan on graduating in the spring. And I am also going for my master's, where I will be starting that in the fall in technology management. And today we're going to be going over VSM, also known as value stream mapping, and it is a lean tool that we as industrial engineers use to make businesses more efficient. I do want to mention my camera. There might be a little bit of weird angles when I transition from here to the slides, so please bear with me. I am unable to flip my camera while it's recording due to having an S7. Thank you. All right, today we will be going over VSM value stream mapping. And you can read here what it is, but essentially it's a one-page picture that we as industrial engineers design, and it's regarding a process. It could be anything from production, producing a part, to maybe even providing a service. And the whole idea of this is to achieve more with less, right? So when we say less, we mean less capital, less labor, and we want to add more value to our products. And as industrial engineers, we focus on three types of sub-processes when we design this. As you can see at the bottom, non-value adding, required, and value added. So non-value adding could be anything that the customer's not willing to pay for. Maybe that could be inventory that's been sitting, maybe 100% inspection when parts come off of a line. A customer's not wanting to pay for that, right? Quality should be built into a product. Non-value added but required, that would be some form of regulatory or legal. We don't really, customer don't really want to pay for it, but we have to have it in the process. And then we have value added, which is something that transforms a product or process and brings value to the customer, and something that the customer is willing to pay for. Basically, with VSM, the biggest thing is focusing on what the customer is willing to pay for. That's the number one thing. All right, and so here's a real world example. I'm going to let you read it for a second, and then we're going to kind of go into it a little bit, and I'm going to explain this. This is a map right here, a value stream map, and as you can see, it's just a picture of the processes, right? You got your information flow at the top, and then you have your processes in the middle, and then you have your little information in between it. And this is just a one-page picture, right? And we're going to improve upon that. But with this study here, this was done for a distribution company or contractor for the military government, and they serviced all their East Coast needs. And this was done over a period of 3 years, and it was able to save them about $550 million, right? And as you can see here, you know how we say increasing value added activities and lead time reduction. Those are the two main targets for value stream mapping. We want to reduce our lead time as much as possible. That way you can get it out to the customer quicker, less quality issues, etc. And then we want to add value, something that the customer's willing to pay for, because at the end of the day, that increases our quality and makes our customers happier. And as you can see here, here's an example that I took in from projects that I've done. At the top, you have your weekly scheduling, your MRP, your daily shipping schedule. That's all your information flow. Information flows from right to left. And then you have your process below, at the very bottom, these boxes here. And there's inventory triangles. Those are the amount of work in process inventory. And what happens is companies like to keep those really stocked in between processes, so if one of them breaks down, they can still keep the flow running. However, what they don't realize is inventory has holding costs, inventory costs, and on top of that, when you leave inventory sitting like this, not only does it get in the way and decrease the productivity of the worker, it also has issues with quality, right? Because it's been sitting for long periods of time, and the chances of it getting messed up are higher, and then it sends it down the process, creating variation and a whole bunch of other issues. And as you can see here, here's a timeline. And this is just, you get at the top, like for example, the first one, 5 days, and then you get 0.75 a second. The top would be your lead time, or how much your inventory is in the system or in the process. And then you have your value added time at the bottom, which is how much is actually being useful work. And, we focus on 7 things, or 7 wastes. And as you can see, overproduction would be an example of producing more than is needed. Inventory would be sitting large stocks of inventory that's not needed or for a rainy day, kind of the just in case mentality. Motion is, operator moves to one spot, has to move back here, has to walk back this way, and anything like that that has motion that's not needed in the process. Defects, self-explanatory. Over processing, that's doing too much. Waiting, that's sitting around waiting for maybe one part to come from one process to another to initiate another part of the process, right? That person that's working there is waiting, right? And that costs money and it makes the worker a little bit more frustrated, especially when it's starting and stopping all throughout the day. And transport, that could be anything from transporting inventory from the floor or to shipping, etc. We want to try to eliminate as much transportation as possible, and we usually use spaghetti diagrams for that. All right, and then this is our future state, and this is basically the last part of this, right? So we had our current state, which is our baseline, where we're at, where the process is at currently. Then we had our Kaizen future state, which is the one you saw before, which is we highlight our areas of where we want to improve. I want to go back and say one more thing about that. And as you notice here, I circled everything basically. I put all these processes in blocks. These had the same cycle times, so I went ahead and merged them, right? We can turn them into one process if we need to have two handoffs here, and when they have the same time and relatively the same operation. So we make our machine more flexible, allow higher capacity, and allow it to run smoother with less capital. And we also have our MRPs and our weekly schedules. I circle that because we're going to get rid of that and put a Kanban post. And the goal is to implement pool production, which is a good example of pool production would be, it comes from here, the shipping, the customer orders it. This supermarket here has some stock. It pulls it from the stock and it says, hey, I need to produce, and it produces it all the way down the line, which in turn keeps everything stocked and moving as efficient. And look, we went from 5 days of lead time, then we went down to 51. Originally we had 236 and we had 47 seconds of value added. So we made a tremendous improvement here. And this is the conclusion. And all it does is it allows the business to do more with less. And it's a one-page process. It can be used in anything. And the financial benefits are amazing. And don't take my word for it. Take Toyota's word for it. They use it. Companies like Amazon use it. And they're saving millions a year. And they're bringing more quality to customers. Here's why we're excited, and here's any questions. I know we're doing an online presentation, but if y'all have questions, please send them to my email, and I will be very happy to explain them or answer them for you. Okay, thank you. Y'all stay safe and have a blessed day.